So when it comes to Christmas dinner, you want to push the boat out, and you know it would be very easy just to do a dysphasic soup, blend it, thicken it. But you know, if everybody else is eating a prawn cocktail, why shouldn't the person who has to have a texture modified diet be included in that? So what we've done, we have broken down all the elements. So again, it's all in separate elements. It's not all put into one food processor and blended down. So the first thing is we've got the cucumber and we've got the gem lettuce. So, you know, classic ingredients to a prawn cocktail. Gives a beautiful colour. And again, this is all about you eat with your eyes. And if unfortunately you've got to eat a texture modified diet, why does it all have to be one colour? It's all about building that anticipation of that in front of you. So we start off with a beautiful green lettuce and cucumber. Then we've got the tomato. We've got the tomato concasse. So again, nice colours, just blend it down and then thicken to the required level. Then you've got your classic Mary Rose, a nice light pink. So again, it's all about building texture in that glass as well. It's all about when you take that first spoonful, you go dive through, you get all the layers, you get all the flavours, everything that complements each other. Finally, a nice layer of the prawns.
The best bit.
Exactly. It's Christmas, so you know this is the thicker layer, this is the nice layer. So again, just the beautiful cooked prawns, that nice pinkness. And then just finish it off. A little bit more of the cucumber on the top. Some little dots of tomato. So make it look like that chopped tomato concasse that you would in your normal prawn cocktail. Again, it's not all one colour, it's not just put in a blender and pureed down. It takes a little bit of time, but you can prepare all these purees the night before. These were all prepared yesterday and just kept in the fridge. Double check the consistency to make sure it meets the required level, as things do change consistency in the fridge. And just finish it off with 2 prawn shapes at the end. There you go, beautiful. And there you go, a dysphasic pureed prawn cocktail. So Christmas is a time for family, and what better a way to celebrate if you could all sit down to the same style of meal on Christmas Day. So what we're going to show you now is how to do a dysphasic version of what you've seen with the turkey stuffed with boar, carrots, parsnips, pigs in blankets and sprouts. So these are all being made to a grade 4. So when you're doing dysphasic diets, it's very important that you follow the guidance of the SALT team and listen to the healthcare professionals. We have set this at a level 4, which is in between level 3, which is more of a ketchup thickness, which won't really hold a shape. So it's more reliant on piping, and a level 5, which is a minced and moist texture. So what I've done is use all the ingredients that we've done to prepare a normal Christmas lunch, and I've just modified them. So the texture modifying is basically placing them in a food blender, pureeing them down to the required consistency. I've used a lot of soya milk to get some nutrients into it, and then just reforming it using a thickener called Nutreless. There's many thickeners out there, but I find Nutreless is the one that's most chef friendly, and you can, if you over thicken or under thicken, you can just continue to play with it until you get to the correct consistency. So what I've done, I've used moulds, and Mark's going to show you how to pipe a freehand version. But if you haven't got the mould, so this is a carrot mould. What you can find ice cream cube moulds. This is a silicone one, so I've done pigs in blanket in this. So it just gives a bit of texture and flavour. And it's all about dining with dignity and inclusivity. So all this is frozen, as it's a puree and it's set. Then you would just shape it, leave it in the fridge to come down, and then reheat it the next day. But with Mark's version, everything's fresh, and it's just about piping it live onto the plate once you've prepared it. So with this, I have prepared a turkey and boar terrine. So using the ingredients that we've used previously to make the turkey thigh with the boar. I've just adjusted it by using turkey mince because it's just easier to puree down, and obviously the boar was already minced down, and I've used mushrooms and made the same farce as previously shown. So really good, flavoursome. I've put the cranberry in there, I've put some spices in there, herbs, all the Christmassy flavours that you would expect. When you're pureeing, it's going to lose a little bit of flavour, so it's down as your skill as a chef just to complement what you're using as your main protein. So with the turkey mince, little bit bland, so with the cranberry in there and some star anise and using some flavours just to give it some really good textures as well. So as you can see, I made a turkey mince around the outside and then just piped some boar. So again, it looks like a stuffed turkey. Carrots, again, just using the mould. So flavoured with orange, again, star anise, boil it up, use that poaching liquid to use it as the puree, so you're just not losing flavour. Got that really, really nice orangey flavour, very Christmassy. Parsnips, obviously we can't roast them due to the texture, but again, I've just added what you would normally add to your roast parsnips. So there's honey in there, there's a little bit of sugar running through there, so there's that sweetness. So it's just added in a different way. Instead of having it uncoated in it, it's actually incorporated in it. Then the star of any Christmas dinner, the pigs in blankets. So again, we can't have the usual sausage wrapped around in bacon. So what I've done is I've put the bacon in the sausage. So I've just got a stick of sausage meat, I've poached it, and then I've got some pancetta, some lovely smoky flavours. I've rendered the fat down, and then I've placed it all into the blender and pureed it together to form this pigs in blanket puree. And then again, set it in a nice cube tray. No Christmas dinner is complete without sprouts. So again, just boil the sprouts until they start to break down, so you've got that nice texture. And these have just been pureed down with some soya milk and then set using a melon baller. So just boiled up, placed in the freezer and set overnight. And that will just come down in the fridge overnight. But as you can see, there's texture on that plate, there's colour on that plate, and it's just inclusively, that would look like a normal plate of food that you would serve up. So, you know, it's all about including people at Christmas. You know, it's all about family, especially this year. So, it's everything that everybody else is eating. It's just been modified in a slight way and put them. But if you haven't got the moulds and you haven't got time to do it the night before, if you're just puring down small portions, Mark's going to show you how you can just freehand pipe it onto a plate.
Fantastic, thank you, Ian. So yeah, as Ian said, Christmas is all about bringing people together, making sure that we can all eat together where we can, and there's that big word, dining with dignity. So here, you can do whatever you like. We're just trying to make this appealing to whoever's going to eat it. So I'll mimic some battens of carrot. So those are my carrot battens. Here I've got my turkey.
And again, without the moulds, we're still adding texture to that plate. It's still having, they're all separate. Gone are the days where any texture modifier is basically put the whole meal into a blender, blend it and thicken it. It's all about building flavours. It's all about building textures on the plate.
When you're feeding, if you are having to feed a loved one, making sure that you don't just feed all the sprouts, feed all the parsnips. It's about getting a little bit of everything on the fork for the diner. So those are the sprouts down. Here I've got the turkey and I've run the fast through as if we were serving our main course, very much akin to how Ian has plated there. Here we've got these beautiful roasted parsnips. And there you have two different methods of plating a dysphagic, beautiful Christmas meal. Enjoy.